Yo, peace, family. Welcome back to another session right here on the Willie Bobo Show. Of course, I'm your man, Ox the Light. Thank you for tuning back in. I have an opinion, and an opinion is like an asshole. Everybody has one, and everybody knows that I actually am an asshole. And my opinion on something that I've seen that really rubbed me the wrong way to the point that I chose to pull my membership. Today, I'm going to talk about what I saw from Crunch Fitness and their latest commercial campaign. And I'm talking about the one that was utilizing Montel Jordan's, absolute classic. This is how we do it. A song that got heavily saturated on the radio, and for the longest time, even to this day, I can't stand it. But this has nothing to do with Montel Jordan's song. I'm just saying I can't stand the song. It's played too fucking much. But anyway, to address this elephant in the room that really is heavily weighing on my back, and again, it's just my opinion because I've seen this commercial one too many times and I've looked at it too deeply one too many times. So, Montel Jordan, as I alluded to, he gave us that timeless 90s anthem, a song of celebration, about cookouts, block parties, it's joy, it's community, it's played in all those places, right? Now, what did Crunch Fitness do with it? Okay. And again, this is just my opinion, yo. Maybe I'm taking it too far. I don't know. They took that anthem and they weaponized it into a caricature. Now, in this commercial, they trot out young black youth, a couple of Latinos, and put a white boy up front. They deliberately styled them, framed them, coded them as street kids. That's what they made them look like. Not athletes, not everyday gym members looking to better their health. No, 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 no. They are packaged and presented through a tired, lazy white corporate gaze. They utilized these people and that aesthetic as props. They used that urban aesthetic like that. They made it window dressing to make a sterile corporate gym brand look, I guess, edgy and authentic. I'm going to call it what it is. In my opinion, cultural appropriation at its most cynical. It's corporate tourism because they want to rent our culture. They want to monetize our rhythm. They want to put our youth in a box. They've always done it. This is the reason why people take shorts on who we are. They have this preconceived notion with the actual corporate boardrooms calling the shots like a country club would be in 1952. That's what it looks like, I'm sure. And you have to think about that disconnect for a second. They want to use our music and our kids, our culture to sell memberships. So, what actually happens when you walk through the doors? What kind of culture are you actually fostering on the ground, Crunch Fitness? Don't you think that they may influence the way that people outside of our culture look at us while they're inside of your gym? Let's talk about the reality of what people experience because it's not just a tone deaf advertisement. This is a role as an insult. It's about a pattern. And when a company treats our imagery as a costume and a marketing pitch, this is what bleeds into staff members' mentalities. This is what bleeds into real life mentalities. We've heard the stories, we've seen the energy, and we know how the systemic weight of that everyday folks carrying just to exist in these spaces, how the injustices, the microaggressions, and a lack of complete genuine respect from the staff and the other people who live in that area, who patron that gym, and so on, who feel emboldened by a corporate boardroom that views us as a demographic target rather than human beings. You're creating a false narrative about the whole of us. Crunch Fitness does not stand for anything positive when it comes down to the authentic depiction, representation, and respect of black people, of urban people. Period. They want the culture without the respect. They want the aesthetic without the accountability. Probably thinking, all right, whatever, man. I'm still getting mine. That's what's up. That's cool. So what do we do with this, right? Okay. Do we just shake our heads, turn the channel? You gonna keep swiping your card? Probably so. Ock? Not. Absolutely not. Because this type of thing is where I draw the line. This is where I choose to exercise my economic power. I'm officially boycotting Crunch Fitness. Quite simple. That type of shit I can't stand for. Again, my opinion. And if you're a listener of this show, if you respect this culture, if you believe that our youth should be uplifted rather than exploited for a 30-second spot on your television screen, you pull your support. But we won't. Like I saw a sister on TikTok advertising a Chinese restaurant here in San Antonio. You gotta be fucking kidding me. They take our hard earned dollars, these businesses, these gyms, these spaces that actually don't respect our dignity or our honor or our community, and they stand on their own principles of exploitation, and we allow that. Stop that shit. Because if we don't stand for something, we're going to fall for everything. They rely on us not paying attention. They rely on us taking the bait, hearing a 90s beat, walking right through their turnstiles, but the game has to change. We see the strings. We see the blueprint. Why are we still letting them pull it? Why are we still letting them build off that blueprint? I've seen commercials recently, man, that have just made me turn my damn stomach, man. Because, again, they don't want you around, but they know we sell. So we got to support our independent creators, build your own spaces, protect your peace, protect your community, and most of all, people, protect your fucking dignity. I'm only trying to give you a transmission from the Willie, man, because the way that I see things is not necessarily the way that other people do, and that's cool. But I'm not going to sugarcoat anything when it comes down to that kind of thing because they make so much money off of us, man. We have given up so many of our spaces to corporate build, corporate greed. I mean, look at all the ways that so many of our so-called black leaders, and Malcolm called it. He called it. So many of our great leaders have called it. These people that are in these positions, we can't trust them. They don't represent us. And this is what these people think. They think that these commercials, they think that the way that these people are dressed in the music, this is what represents us. This is not always us. I had a conversation with someone, and I tried to make it clear to them that, when you think about white people, there's not a whole lot of flavor, okay, culturally. If you were to go to Atlanta, you would meet so many different variations and styles of black people because it's just a natural evolvement of how we move, how we do things. We grasp onto so many different aspects of life because when we are brought up, we're taught what it's like to be white. Then we have to go home and find out what it's like to be black. Everything we learn in school, it's about a white person. White person did this, white person did that, white person dresses and looks this way. Okay, so it's reasoning up the mind, right? But then we go back to reality. Then we watch TV. We see more of that. We might get a little more cultural expansion. But all in all, my point is we learn more about them than they do about us. So it's easier for us to see through the bullshit. It's easier for them to accept the lies. Okay? Not all of us choose to do so. If your third eye is not open, that's you. Cool. But I stand on principles. And my principle is you're not going to get my money through cultural appropriation because I understand you. You don't really understand me. And even though I'm dressed in the very way that you think, that we think, because don't let my clothes fool you. My clothes don't represent my mentality and my mind. My mind is thus of something that you can't comprehend. The way that I think would probably make you want to assassinate yourself and burn your body to cinders. No, I'm just kidding, y'all. I'm just playing. But yo, the way that I think is just above a lot. And I'm glad that I see exactly what the corporate bullshit is on a grand scale. This is the Willie Bobo Show, and thank y'all for tuning in. See you next time. Peace.